everyone. Today we are going to discuss the phases or procedure followed in polygraph technique, the general question test, and examples of test questions. First, we will tackle the phases or procedure to be followed in polygraph technique. We have phase 1 or the preliminary preparations. This stage is in the initial interview with the investigator handling a case or person requesting it. The group involved in this stage are the victim or the complainant, suspects, and witnesses. This stage includes obtaining an evaluation of facts, determining areas the subject needs to be asked. In phase 2 or the pre-test interview, this is the stage of interview of the subject. The primary purpose of the pre-test interview is to prepare or condition the subject for the test. Next is phase 3. The examination proper. After the pre-test interview, the examiner should proceed to the placement or attachment of polygraph sensors. The first to be attached is the pneumograph, followed by a cardiomyosmograph and the galvanograph sensors. Review all the questions with the subject before the actual examination is made. The examiner should discourage any comments or statement by the subject. Test instrument must give to the subject upon completion of the necessary preliminary preparation. Last is the phase 4, the post-interview, and this stage includes all consideration that bears on the examination. This is done just after the instrument is turned off. If the polygraph test result indicates deception, the examiner will then proceed to conduct short interrogation, the purpose of which is to obtain confession. However, if the polygraph indicates that the subject is innocent, the examiner will just release the subject cordially and thanks him or her for his or her cooperation. That we will be discussing is all about the general question test or types of questions. First is the relevant questions. Functionally relevant questions are questions directly related to the offense under investigation. Relevant questions has 5 classification. First classification is a strong relevant or primary relevant question. It has an intense relationship to the crime or problem being considered. This is intended to produce strong emotional responses in guilty subjects. Next, secondary or weak relevant. These are questions that concern with elements of the crime and deals mostly on guilty knowledge and partial involvement. Third, sacrifice relevant or diet questions, meaning do you intend to answer truthfully? Designed to absorb the response generally generated by the introduction of the first relevant questions in the series. Next, we have the knowledge questions. Knowledge questions is a type of question which is propounded to the subject to detect information about a crime that only a guilty subject would have. Last one is evidence connecting question. This has to do with inviting subjects' attention on the probability of incriminating proof that would tend to establish his guilt by linking him and his predicaments to the fingerprints, footprints, tool marks, etc. collected at the crime scene. Next type is the controlling questions. Control questions are used for the purpose of comparison. Essentially, truthful subjects are believed by polygraph examiners to be more concerned about control than relevant question. Control questions also have 2 classifications, namely primary control questions and secondary control questions. Let us first talk about the primary control questions. Primary control question recalls the offense done from the time of childhood up to 3 to 5 years before the occurrence the present offense being investigated, while secondary control questions is more specific in nature and it is based upon another sort of wrongdoing which will enhance the subject's opportunity for responsiveness. Its scope includes up to the present period of examination. Last type is the irrelevant or neutral questions. These are types of questions which have no importance to the case under investigation, and these are questions which are believed to have no or very little emotional impact on a subject. Thus, such question can be used as an indicator of a particular subject's normal baseline level of arousal and must be precede the relevant ones. Lastly, we have here sample set of general question test. Number 1. Is your name John Doe? Irrelevant. Before the age of 25, did you ever steal anything from a place with you work? Control. Have you ever stolen anything? Control. Are you of 48? Irrelevant. Do you live at 123 Alphabet Street? Irrelevant. Do you personally know who stole the money? Relevant. Did you steal 9,000 from your mother? Relevant. Is your shirt color red? Irrelevant. Are you left-handed? Irrelevant. Before the age of 25, did you ever attempted to steal money from someone? Control.